Live. This is Scott Groves from the Generate community. Just wanted to get started here. Obviously, we are going over this book, Lead Generate 61 Days to Double Your Pay. And, you know, a couple of people have messaged me or emailed me or called me and whatnot, say, hey, why are you doing this Generate series? Like, what's the end goal? How are you going to monetize it? Like, what's the secret sauce? The reality is that there is no reason other than I just want to engage with people, and I want to do my little piece with the way that I know how by lead generating and teaching the concepts of lead generation to get the economy going again, right? Like, I want to engage with you in a two-way conversation, not just one way putting stuff out there. I mean, the truth is I have most of this recorded on a video series, or all of this recorded on a video series. I could just email blast out to 7,000 people. But the goal here is that there's an exchange of value, right? Like, I want to add value to anybody in this group to help them get back on track with lead generation. And I want you to add value to the group by engaging, asking questions, coming up with your own commentary on these videos, and adding other people to the group. So enough about that. Let's move on to day 9. Day 9 in the book. Obviously, this is a 61-day prescriptive methodology for getting back on track. So whatever type of job you do, if you have to generate a lead or a relationship to put, you know, food on your table and money in your bank account, this group is for you, and you should be adding other people to the group. So day 9 is time block or activity block. Don't do both. Time block or activity block. Don't do both. And I start out the chapter by saying time blocking is dead. Okay, it's not dead, but it's probably on life support for those of us who generate most of our income via lead generation and sales. I call it the curse of the Amazon generation. The reality is there are few things I can think of that aren't currently available on demand. Most of the media I consume, the products I buy, the services I'm interested in, they can all be ordered on demand for immediate delivery or within 24 hours. Even something as intrinsically personal and vulnerable as dating has become as easy as swipe left or swipe right. This is creating an environment where most referral sources and clients, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, they expect answers right now. And I know how challenging that can be. I'll frequently step out of a long lunch appointment to see that a client or referral source has tried to reach me by call, by text, by voicemail, by emails, sometimes sprinkling in a little Facebook Messenger or Instagram direct message just to try to get my attention and talk about something right now because they feel like it's that urgent. Recently, and most of you guys know that I work in the mortgage business, recently I lost out on a $2 million refinance, which is a pretty healthy commission here in the loan business, because I didn't realize that my Facebook business page, not my personal page, but my Facebook business page, had its own Facebook Messenger inbox. A couple of messages from past clients actually sat in that inbox for months before I discovered them, right? So there's all these ways that people are trying to get in touch with us, which, you know, sidebar, is very important that you as a professional let your clients know what is the best way to communicate with you, right? Even though it sometimes feels a little obnoxious when you call somebody and they say, hey, the quickest way to get in touch with me is to text message me versus leaving me a message here. That always annoys me a bit, but at the same time, I'm thankful because that professional is telling me what's the easiest way to communicate with them. So maybe for you, it's text message for urgent issues and emails for follow-up items. Maybe it's, you know, you use the Telegram app or the WhatsApp, or maybe you just like people to call you directly. But communicating with your team and having your team and yourself communicate with your clients about how you like to be communicated with and what's the easiest way for them to get in touch with you, super, super important. Like, I've got a couple of friends where like their mode of communication, because they live in the marketing space, is Facebook Messenger. If I call them, text them, email, they'll get to that at some point in the next 24 hours. But because they live in the world of online marketing, if I Facebook message them, I get a super, super detailed response in 35 seconds. So train your audience and train your clients on what is the best way for them to communicate with you. Okay, I digress. Instead of trying to time block I point this out, this idea of everybody having multiple ways to get in touch with you, to illustrate that being available for our clients and referral must always be at the forefront of any schedule we attempt to design. I want to read this again. I pointed this out to illustrate that being available for our clients and referral sources must always be at the forefront of any schedule we attempt to design. Now, there's two really complex thoughts in there, and they seem potentially at odds with each other. One, we want to make sure that we're scheduling our business and our life in a manner that makes us available to our clients and the referral sources. But two, it's okay to have a schedule, meaning I take calls between this time and this time. I respond to texts between this time and this time. I'm available for emergency situations, for a half hour on Saturday and a half hour on Sunday if you run that kind of business. So I want you to be trying to hold, two thoughts in your mind at the same time. One is I need to set up a communication system, and I need to set up a schedule, and I need to set up a lifestyle that makes me accessible and easily accessible to my clients and my referral partners. But I also need to set up a schedule where I have a life and I'm not on demand 24/7. Because guess what? If you're on demand 24/7 and you create an abusive relationship with your clients or referral sources where they know that you're always going to drop everything in your life and take care of their issue on the spot, that doesn't really set you up as the adamant pro that you want to be. So let me continue. Instead of trying to time block or schedule out an entire day, which I believe, frankly, is less and less effective and less of a practical solution for this world we live in now, called the Amazon generation, where everything is on demand, I believe we should have a list of focused activities that we return to at some point during any given day. Personally, I only time block or schedule out roughly 3 to 4 hours a day with non-negotiable items. These non-negotiable items include my early morning routine, sometimes involves a workout, sometimes doesn't. Focused lead generation time. So every single day, somewhere on my calendar, or every single business day, somewhere on my calendar, I have between 30 and 60 minutes blocked out for focused, make the connection calls, get in touch with past clients, talk to new clients, talk to referral sources. That's always blocked out. And then prior to COVID-19, I had usually some type of face-to-face appointment scheduled every day, either with my team, with a client, with a referral source. So, if you just enacted those three activities on your calendar, which is, some personal time for yourself in the morning or the evening, whatever that looks like, planning your day or planning your next day, getting in a workout or a walk. Number two, getting your lead generation scheduled somewhere in the calendar, and then some type of face-to-face appointment or some type of, now it's probably Zoom meeting, in order to deepen those relationships. If you have those three things on your calendar, you have them scheduled, you're already one step ahead of most other salespeople. Even time with my family is fluid. We've talked about that before. We can debate we could debate about scheduling and the merits of daily commitments for years. However, for this book, I want to talk specifically about 30 to 60 minutes every day where you're committed to lead generation. And I want to make sure that you don't become emotionally attached to the outcome of the lead generation activities, right? We don't want to be emotionally attached to the results of lead generation, because let's just take somebody, for example, a friend of mine. She's a relationship and sex therapist, right? She does very intimate conversations, in-person settings with people whose marriages are either failing or have failed, right? As you can imagine, it's probably not as intimate having that same conversation over Zoom. So I know that, some of her bookings have fallen off, or the marriages have gotten significantly worse beyond repair, or they've actually gotten significantly better because the couple is spending more time together in the house together. So they've kind of fixed a lot of their problems. But I just know her business is down, right? She has to lead generate. Now, she could make an hour's worth of calls to past clients, to wherever it is, sex therapists, lead generate. She can make an hour worth of calls and not have a single contact or meaningful conversation. And that could be discouraging. And if you get attached to the outcomes of that one singular event or that one singular day of lead generation, it's really easy to fall off that train or that path of lead generation and just be like, well, that didn't work. I'll try something else tomorrow. But trust me, when you make lead generation a consistent 30 to 60 minute a day practice that you do over and over and over and over again, it's all going to come out in the wash, right? Some days you're going to have 5 amazing conversations. Some days you're going to have 0 conversations. Some days you're going to pick up 10 new clients. Sometimes you're going to go 10 days without picking up a single new client. But the point is to make the lead generation part of your daily schedule. And if you're the type of person that likes to time block, great. Put it in there for 30 or 60 minutes and then commit to that if you're good at committing to time. If you're the type of person that tends to put stuff in your calendar and then you don't do a great job following it, and we'll link here, actually, Danielle, if you can make a note to link to the Karen Briscoe talk in this video, because Karen said, look, time passes by whether you take action or not. So for her daily activity, her activity block is she has to make 5 thank you cards. She has to write 5 thank you cards a day. And she has to make 10 proactive calls, which is the same thing that we recommend, right? So you can either say, I'm the type of person that focuses on time, calendar, boom, I've got it. Put it on your calendar for 30 to 60 minutes, or come up with the activities that are relevant in your industry, right? Come up with the activities that are relevant in your industry. Maybe it's writing 5 thank you cards. Maybe it's maybe it's making 10 outbound calls. Maybe it's putting 30 pieces of things in the mail, you know, a flyer, a tchotchke, whatever. Maybe it's reaching out to 100 people a day on Facebook. Whatever it is, either set time to do it or create the activity and be like, my day doesn't end until the activity is done. So those are my thoughts for today. Again, if you're enjoying this, if you're liking these conversations, if you're watching this on Facebook, my whole goal is just to give something back to the salespeople of the world and help do my little piece to get the economy going. Do me a favor, click the little watch party button, you know, have your friends watch this, invite your friends that are in sales, commission, business owners, invite them into this group. Ask a good question, engage with me, click the like button, leave some commentary. I'd just like to know that people are watching this and that this is actually working. So I appreciate you all, and we'll talk soon. Scott Groves from the Generate Group.